This is Scott the Fix-It Guy. Our goal with our videos is to empower you to be able to do the repairs on your own and save a whole lot of money and also get that great feeling of having fixed it by yourself. We have a Whirlpool direct drive washer that is coming up with kind of an interesting display here. I'll show you. Let me plug it back in. Tried to unplug it for a while to see if it would clear the code or the symptom, but it seems to persist. So what I'm getting is a little bit of water coming out. I can hear the drain is active. Got the door locked. I believe this happened late in the cycle. It wasn't on drain and spin initially. I think it was just on normal. But as it got near the end, it's supposed to drain out all the water and go into spin. My guess is that the drain is active, the door remains locked because the system is trying to drain it, but I think the drain may be somewhat obstructed or fully obstructed. So in this model, I believe what I need to do to get to the coin trap is unplug it and then go in from the back. The back panel comes off pretty readily, pretty quick. And then I think I can get to what they call the coin trap and undo it and pull out anything that might be in there. Now when I undo it, probably some water is going to come out, so I need to be prepared for that. So I'm going to unplug it, pull the machine away from the wall. So we're going to take off this back panel, and these are 1/4-inch screws. We're just going to pull out these perimeter screws. Just take a second to do. Some of these we don't pull out though. If you notice there's a cutaway, you don't have to pull out that one, but just the ones that are holding on this panel. And there's one there also. Let's get those. All the screws are out, so we should be able to get this panel off. And then this is a direct drive system, so it doesn't have a belt. This is actually the motor here. Coin trap's down here. It's this round thing, and I got to be prepared for a little water to come out when I open that. If it does leak, it's going to leak into this bottom drawer. So I'm going to go lefty loosey on this thing. There, it's moving, and a little water is going to leak out. There it comes. And there's not much in there. It looks pretty good. Let's see if there's... I'm going to reach in here and see if I feel anything blocking it. Pretty clean. Of an obstruction here in this drain hose. So it leaves here, goes up. So I'm going to pull this hose off right here, and I'm going to look to see if there might be something hiding in there. System, wherever there's a turn, you're going to tend to get things stuck, so this is one you can check too. Take off the hose clamp, kind of twist this thing towards you and pull. Just look in there. It looks great. Bit of something green right there, but I think it's just a speck of dirt. I don't think there's anything in there. I'll put that one back on. So just tighten with the hose clamp, tighten this pliers, put that back on. We're going to do the one down here where the drain tube leaves the drain. Same concept though. We're going to just use our pliers, undo this one that's on opposite. Instead of vacuum, it's blowing. And you go to this end, you can blow air through. And if the air can readily move through it, you know there's no blockage. If you use your mouth, you got to protect your mouth somehow so you're not going to get any of that sewage on you. Okay, this one's coming off. We're just going to peer in there, make sure it's cool. This little thing is a one-way valve, so you just use your finger, push in, make sure it can move. That's moving really good. I'm going to put my finger in here. Yeah, and I can feel the paddle of the impeller there. All right. I think this will come out now. Let's see. All right. I think it'll come off now. Here, higher. Get this one.
Okay, got it. And that can cause a problem. So I'm going to put the coin trap back in too. Didn't see any obstructions in there at all. It seemed pretty clean. So I'm going to make sure there's nothing in the treads here for the screw to go back in. You put this in like this, coming into the machine, and then I'll go righty-tighty to tighten it. And I want to get it pretty tight, so I want to keep going until this tab locks into here. So that just limits how far it can go. I think we got it. Might be one more screw we got to put in right here. And that one screw up there, right there. Okay, all in there. I'm going to put the drain hose back on and get this depressed with some pliers. I actually make pliers that are designed just for hose clamps. Makes it even easier. But these will work fine. Get that on there tight. All right, that's looking good. So I'm going to leave the back off and hook everything back up and test out the drain motor. I want to make sure I don't have any leaks before I put the back cover back on. Take off the top. We just got to pull these 3/4 inch screws. If you have a dryer stacked on top and you got to get in here, one thing you can do is you can disconnect your dryer and slide it onto a recycling bin just to get the dryer out of there so you can get this top off. Maybe you don't have enough people to help. You usually need 2 people to lift the dryer off. So if you're by yourself, you have a recycling bin, you can just pull the dryer right on. So you're going to push this away. It gets loose like that, and then lift up, get it out of the way, and make sure it's unplugged. And you're going to find where there's a lot of modular connectors that you can check on. This little thing right here is where that pressure switch comes up, bringing air pressure, and so when the water fills, a column of air comes up and pushes a diaphragm shut and tells the machine that there's water in there or there's no water in there. These are the fill valves that let the water come in. These are just vents to vent the tub. And here's the controller or the computer right here. And there's a lot of modular connectors coming into this. So it wouldn't hurt to loosen each one up and then put them back in one by one. Let's see how we access that. I think we can just lift up on this. Take a look. So if we get the top off and we're looking down, we see this white thing down there, and that is the door lock. And there's a little round thing on the top. If you pull that up, that'll unlock the door. Right now, our door will not unlock. So we're going to try that and see if that resets anything. I'm going to reach down, grab that thing and unlock it. See if I can show you guys. Get over there. So there's that little release, that white thing. Reach in there, lift up on that. You guys see that? So up is open. You can open the door. So usually when there's a drain problem, the door will remain locked. And the only way you can really get in there is if you override it by taking the top off. And you can see that white thing in there, the round thing at the top. Reach in and lift up like that, and then you can open the door. Now I'm going to put it back, plug it in again, and see if there's any change. That might have reset something. Okay. Let's see what it's doing now. Yeah, I heard a relay click inside here. I think I'm back to normal now. I think that did reset it. All right, I'm going to try going through a cycle. So I'll turn it back on, give it power. Yeah, so that did reset it. It is possible that that door lock is getting worn out. All right, I'm going to start it. You can hear the door locked. It's sensing right now what the load's doing. Let me power it down for a second. I'm just going to try drain and spin because I think it's already done. It just needs to be spun out. So go there, go to drain and spin. 14-minute cycle, turn it on. So we get the door lock, we should get drain function, and then we should get this thing to spin out. And that centrifugal force will create more water, and the drain should kick it out. I'll look inside too to see if I get any leaks. I can hear the drain's active, but there's no water in there, so you don't really hear it sloshing around. So now it's going to start its spin cycle. And the faster it goes, the more centrifugal force will throw the water out into the spin basket. It'll get caught in the tub. It'll go down, it'll hit the drain motor, and the drain motor will kick it out. I'm going to go check it out from the other side. It's kind of fun to see the motor here spinning, picking up speed. It's rocking a little bit because it's a bit unsteady. Sometimes if the machine interprets a rock like that, it'll actually stop the spin cycle because it's worried it's going to hurt the machine. It's going to try to hold it down. I want to make sure the drain motor isn't leaking. Part of the software is it'll spin in 2 different directions to try to get the load more evenly distributed. And then if it can spin without much shaking, it'll go faster and faster. But if it gets a lot of shaking, it may continue to do this back and forth rather than a high-speed spin. That's just called load distribution. Let's pick it up a little speed now. And then the drain will kick in again because it's thinking, well, I'm going fast enough to create some centrifugal force to create water, so we got to drain it out. That's pretty good speed. The 4 shocks stabilizing the tub, and then it has the springs at the top, one there and one on the other side, so it's kind of floating on the shocks and the springs, and that's getting up some really good speed. Actually has chunks of concrete there too to help kind of keep it centered. Drain looks good though, no leaks. So that's really kicking up super fast. Really cool design. Another big chunk of concrete that's used to help keep it centered at high speed. And this is where the water comes in and is combined with the detergent before it goes down into the tub. The brains of the operation. There's the 2 suspension springs. Sometimes these can break and then the machine will really act weird during spin. But right now it's doing really good. It's able to compensate. You can see a little foam building up right there, that elbow. That's where the water would drain, but there's really not much water in there, so that's just a little bit of foam. So I turned off the power button, and we're still getting the less and less spin, no more drain, and the door just unlocked. So it's behaving properly. Maybe what's going on is that door lock is having trouble. And again, if you need to, you have to unlock. You just got that white thing down there, just pull it up and it'll unlock. I think I probably need a new door lock. Normal cycle now. Drain is active, the door locked, it's going to do sensing. That's where the motor kicks in and it just rotates and it tries to feel how much voltage do I need to rotate this thing. That tells the algorithm how heavy it is, and then it's going to add water to put the right amount of water to wash that load. I got basically one item in there, so it's almost no load. And now it's circulating that item so it gets saturated with the water as the water flows in. It's going to do that for a while, and then it'll go to the high-speed spin. Drain. It's draining really good. I don't see any leaks after the reassembly. Now we hear the dry sump spinning, but it's just hitting air, so the frequency changes, different sound. Sounds good. And now it'll start to pick up speed. It's letting new water in. It's going to spin it, and it lets water in to rinse it out, and then it'll pick up speed and it'll drain. We're hearing the water system right now letting water in. You can hear it. So these valves are opening up. Lets water come in from the house pressure. Valves open up, water comes in. It's going to go back and forth now to wash it. That's the agitation cycle. And then it'll pick up speed in a little bit, and the drain will become active, and it'll shoot all that water out. So manually unlocking the door by lifting up on that white thing there. You can see my shadow of my finger touching. Pulling that up releases the door, reset the computer. And so far so good. It did a cycle and didn't have the code thrown, and didn't have the door locking, and continuing to drain. So we found that the drain was perfectly clear. If it happens again, my suspicion would be that I just need to remove the door lock, which is really easy to do. Just come through the front by pulling the boot back and get right in there. They're pretty cheap. So we'll see what happens. I'm just going to put it back together now. So I'm just going to put this panel back up into position. I'm just going to add all the screws back. We'll just put all the screws back in. Just getting all these screws back in. There's a lot of them, but they act as a part of the structure. There's so many, and this plate is so thick that it actually helps to keep the washer intact. And it's pretty quick if you have a driver. I think we got them all. Let's see if I missed any. I'm not going around the perimeter. Oh yeah, just one right there. Got it. I'm going to put the top panel back on too. By the way, for this model, we have this nice pamphlet located underneath the top panel, and it has some tests you can do for your lock for your machine that will help you with diagnosis. This is for service technicians, but you can take a look at it yourself, and it has things about the control panel, about troubleshooting, doing a diagnostic, checking on your fault and error codes. So pretty good information. All right, so I'm going to put this back on. In position. Bring that forward, and then we're going to add those 3 screws on the back. There we go. All right, we'll just bring it back into position. We're done.
Thanks so much for watching our video. We really appreciate your support. And when you get a chance, please press the subscribe button below so you can be subscribed, and also the notification bell so we can send you more videos about appliance repair. Please also give us a thumbs up if you enjoyed the video. If you really liked the video and it really helped you, please press this new applaud button and you can show your support and also get a nice clapping hands for your video. Thanks again.